Hello everyone, Simple Majority 20 here, or Mr. Simple Majority, sorry. Well, it depends on where it is. Twitch, it's Simple Majority 20. Anyway, it's the old miner, episode number, what are we at now? 7? 6? God, so old. Well, then I also got a lot more problems in getting this video out. Trying to keep my house from being flooded over. Yeah, that weather just keeps getting nastier and nastier. No break. Episode 5. Yeah, so this is episode 6 now. Okay, cool. Anyway, this is going to be the beginning of the Rotarycraft tutorials. So I've already got the book open, and we're on production machines. I'm going to go ahead and make the first thing, which you're going to need is the blast furnace. This is the basic part. You can't make anything else until you do this. So these require HSLA steel ingots, and the only way to get those is by making this blast furnace. So pretty straightforward. We're going to need 8 bricks and a redstone. So I'll turn over here. Grab some of this. I need to make more bricks anyways. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I fell down a hole. I'm embarrassed. I didn't want to. In fact, you know what? Let's turn that back off. Just before recording, I fell down a hole and didn't want to try to climb back out. So there we go. Cool. Alright, as you can see in the last video, I got a rolling machine up. Before we start really. Over here, got a tank. Now this, it is hooked for the water and ready. But I'm going to be quite honest, I did cheat in some pipes. These are the liquid pipes from Rotarycraft. Kind of didn't go the way I wanted it to, and I didn't want to sit here and spend half the video building this whole thing. So, and then over here I have the creosote oil. And I built, got that built, got some thermal dynamic pipes underneath here, which run over to this side and dump the creosote in. So, now we got a steady production of that going. Anyway, now we need, so to make this we need 8 redstone bricks and stone bricks and a redstone ingot. And we'll just might as well collect the whole thing. So we'll come over here. We'll draw out our bricks. Boom. And there we go. Bingo. Now you notice I got a bucket of lava. We're going to need that lava. And what we're going to do is put it right here. But if you read the book, let me get the thing open here. Production, blast furnace. This is blast furnace's main way to make steel. Simply supply carbon in the form of coal or coke at the top left, gunpowder at the bottom left, and sand in the top left. Fill any and all of the middle of 9 slots with iron ingots. Heat the machine to 600 degrees Celsius to start the alloying process. The machine will operate more efficiently with coke and with more slots full of iron. The coal is not fuel. An external heat source is required. This machine also is used to make bedrock ingots. And it goes on to talk about that. So to get that temperature up, we need to supply lava. We'll put that right on top of the lava like so. Now you'll see the temperature is slowly starting to climb. Now it said supply coke or whatchamacallit. I think that goes there. So when we look at this, we got 3 slots here and then our 9 slots here. This is the gunpowder. This is the coal or coke. And this one here is for sand. And you know what? I totally forgot to turn monsters on and get some gunpowder. You know what? Let's see if I can even make gunpowder. Can it be manufactured? It can, but I've got to have sulfur for that. Or charcoal plus a glowstone dust will do it. Or niter from Rotary. No. Saltpeter. Sulfur. Yeah, I should have looked into this a little more. Okay. Well, I hate doing this, and I'll probably just delete the stuff. Yeah. No, I don't know. I probably will just reward it back. Basically, what I call rewarding it back is I'll go ahead and spawn the items in that we're going to need, and then I will have to give those items back. So I'll make 64 gunpowder, and I'll turn that in I'll delete that, and 64 sand's not hard to come by. There we go. So we'll turn that back off now. Okay, so, oops. To get this process started, you see it's actually 220 now. It actually climbs faster with coke. With coal, it takes a little longer to get up there, so we'll supply that. There we go. Now we just need to get some iron. Now I did go mining, and I picked up 4 full stacks, something like that, of iron. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I picked up more than that. I just remember when I was playing yesterday, I was like, God damn, just keep coming across all this iron. So when it says fill all 9 slots, what it means is to take and do this. Because the more you put in, the better chances you're going to get at getting more of the HSLA. If I just put 64 here, the chances of me getting extra HSLA will be much lower. So by filling more, we increase our chances of actually spawning or getting more HSLA. How much more? Well, I'm going to put in full 64, and we'll see. In the meantime, because it's going to take a bit for that thing to charge up, we'll go ahead and open up our book, and we're going to talk about the sciences behind this. So, we have some basic terms. We have watt, kilowatt, megawatts. That's the unit of power, energy per unit time. 1 watt is equal to 1 joule per second. Newton meters. Newton meters is a unit of torque. Force times distance. Rads per second is radians per second. Sometimes you'll hear rotations per second, rotations per minute or RPS. RPM or RPS. So you see even here it says RPM, rotations per minute or radians per minute. And that is radians per second, an unit of angular rotation velocity. And 1 rad per second is equal to 9.55 rads per minute. Radian, a unit of angle, equal to 180 divided by pi is 57.3 degrees. There are 6.28 radians in a full circle. So, we're going to talk about the physics behind this. Now, in your other mods, you build power by building a machine like a Stirling generator. So we'll go back over here and look at that. We'll use a Stirling generator. So I built a Stirling generator. The thing generates 40 RF per tick, I believe it is. No, 20 RF per tick basic. So the energy is built up inside this machine, stored in like an internal battery. Then using power cables, I can transmit the power to different machines, like so and like so. Now, what makes this mod different is the fact that we're going to be transferring power versus via kinetical energy or torque. Oops. So, how do we get that? Well, torque is a strength of a turn. The greater torque can exert greater loads. Therefore, a machine that requires more force to operate, such as the compactor, will require more torque than one like the woodcutter. Angular velocity is the rotational speed. For example, a machine that mixes things quickly, such as a fractionator, will require greater angular velocity than one that mixes them more slowly, like the fermenter. And you can see here, the difference is like the red line here is 1 rad per second, and the blue lines are 3 rads per second, and it shows torque, force, distance, and the torque. Okay, so material properties. This is important because each material has its own set of properties and limits. Different materials have different strengths, which control when the shafts and flywheels made of them fail. Flywheels fail based on density and tensile strength, TS, while shafts can fail from tensile or shear overload, SS. So wood, 800 kilograms, divide by M3, M to the third power. TS is 20, MPa is 50, 20 MPa, and SS is 11.6 MPa. So each one version, so you have stone or wood, stone, iron, steel, which is HSLA steel, gold, diamond. and it keeps going up. So you see that the strength's actually diamond. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it goes up from there. So this is GPA and GPA, and these are MPA. It doesn't actually say what the MPA stands for. So shaft load limits. This is another one very important. You want to be careful not to exceed the limits. The wood can handle 278 newton meters of torque at 3577 rads per second. And stone is more, steel is more, diamond is, of course, much better. It's the next last best. And then finally, bedrock infinity. Wait a minute, bedrock. How do we get bedrock? We'll get to that. So just remember, watch your limits. Flywheels, again, have their own speed, have their own failure rates. Wood's 2981 rats a second and keeps going up. You notice there is no diamond or bedrock. Basics of power transfer. Shaft power behaves completely different than electrical, pneumatic, or other traditional kinds of power. For example, shaft power is true power, not energy, uh, such does not build up in machines or shafts with no output and must be used immediately upon creation. Furthermore, the load of on a shaft has no effect on its power consumption. A disconnected shaft will still draw any and all power given to it, but simply waste it. This is unlike a wire where disconnecting the output would redirect the power into remaining outputs. In other words, if I build a system which has, you have, say, a motor and then the shaft, nothing happens, that energy is just going to flow right out into the open road. It's not going to harm anybody or anything. It's just wasted energy. It's not going to redirect and it's not going to go back into the system to whatever was connected. So, now our different tiers, won't go through all these, but we're going to start here in the tier 0. So the boring machine, the pulse jet furnace, player detector, coil, music box, self-destruct mechanism, rock melter. And we can go up these different tiers. So these require 0 watts of power. Now some stuff we aren't going to mess with. Like the Van de Graaff generator, that's actually for fusion. Pulse jet furnace, again, that's going to be more for the reactors and stuff. And we can't, even though we can technically build these, they require different specs. These are just going off wattage. So we can go all the way up through the different tiers, and we get to the highest tier, and we come up on that's the force field, the heat ray. So we're not even there yet. Light bridge, EMP machine, EMP machine. Okay, so it's lower than that. Laser gun, bedrock breaker. So it's 4,194,304 watts. I'm trying to think what that would be. I think that's 4.19 megawatts. I'm not totally for sure on that. Yeah, that'll be 4194 kilowatts, and then 4.194 megawatts of power. And that's going to let you break the bedrock. It takes a long time, but it actually has a lot of great benefits. So we'll get to that later. Duration times, and talks about different times these machines take. And it has the mathematical formula to figure it based on the speed. So I won't go through that. Click next, and we have config alerts. This is new. These are the config settings that have been changed from defaults and may have significant changes to gameplay. If you have further questions you wish for these changes to be undone, contact your server admin or modpack creator. And it's saying here all config settings are the same, so we don't have to worry about it. All right, let's take a look in our machine here, and we're not quite there yet. Though. Now, I want to say you can also, if you wanted to, I could build a system here like this. And I do this from time to time. I'll have to turn on the cheat mode because I only got one block of lava. Oh yeah. There we go. We'll take in 2 more buckets of lava. And we can do this. We can take these lavas, and I don't know why my whatchamacallit's no longer working. I need one more bucket. Go. Lava. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Okay, so now by supplying more lava, you'll see that the machine's actually going to climb a little faster. And just remember, scoop the lava before you break the blocks. So see, there you go, 420, 442, 443. So we're climbing much quicker now because I've supplied even more lava to it. So getting to 600, you can do this just to get yourself up to 600 faster. So the goal of this, hopefully, in the next 15 minutes is to build our first machine, which will be the first consumer, which is a pump. We're going to build the the motor, first motor, and hopefully we'll get actually through to the fermenter in the second motor we're going to build. So 485, 486, 487, we're getting there. So anywho, just continuing around the base. I went and did exactly what I said I was going to do. I don't know if I said it actually or not. I made an extra video and then I deleted it, I think. I went over to the rail house and I stole the rolling machine from the rail house into town, and also stole some of the bricks off the building. We'll actually need some of those bricks, in fact, for our table. Let's see here. In fact, let's look at the table while that's cooking up. So once we get our stone furnace up, we'll start producing our HSLA steel. Go to production. We're going to need the work table. This table is incredibly important. So we need 2 stone slabs, redstone, 2 HSLAs, a brick, and a crafting table. This is actually an incredibly important item because this is the only way you can finish building. This is the only way that you can actually finish building parts or components in the mod. There we go, like so. And then we'll just put that wood back up. What else do we have here? So I don't even want to put the cobble up. You'll have to watch, and I'll show you here. Go look. Mod. I had that up already. Rotarycraft. So for example, if I right-click shift this, you'll see it says work table. We have a crafting grid here and what looks like another crafting grid here. And you can see the parts go here and it comes out. This is your work table. So you want to watch. Let's get one that actually has sub-combines. So something like this, the shaft core. You see it now, it says shape crafting when I clicked on that diamond shaft core. This is your crafting table. This is your work table, which is the finished assembly. And then if you click the blade itself, it'll take you back to the regular crafting table. So on the crafting table, we'd make the blades, and then we would actually assemble the finished product. We'll make the hub, which is on the crafting table. All these components are on the crafting table. Every one of them. So make our components literally on the crafting table, and then we'd assemble the whole thing on the work table. Now, some things do require to be assembled completely on the work table. And I believe the fluid pipes is one of those. Yep. So fluid pipes must be assembled on the table. And say with lube hose. Now the lubricant hose is different than your fluid hose. It's going to be used to move lubricant around the system. So make sure you keep those two straight. And it's best to use the pipes that come with the mod for moving liquids around. Just something I've learned over the past playing this mod. And there are quite a few different ones you can use. It is AE friendly. It takes a little bit of work to get it going. There we go. So 640 Celsius. We're up and running. We're going to go ahead and scoop our lava. Should be up and running at least. I'll throw those away. Oops. I didn't mean to throw that bucket away. Oh well. So we should be up and running. 640. It's like it's been changed. Used to, once you got 640, it'd start producing. Okay, the blast furnace, so steel, bottom left, sand, top left, and fill all middle 9 slots of iron. Okay, bonuses, increased chance, filled slots by... Okay, so here's the bonuses on it. When you make the HSLA steel, if you fill up all 9 slots, you get a 50% chance bonus. And if you max it out, then you get a 100% chance bonus. And you get 0.60 steel R. Whatchamacallit? Okay, maybe I got this backwards. Gunpowder definitely goes in the bottom slot. Let's go ahead and max it out for the sake, because we're just sitting here basically trying to get things moving. So basically, by filling these, you're going to get a better chance at the bonus. There we go. Why aren't you starting? Gunpowder, correct slot. Okay, maybe there's a bug with the mod. Let me go get some regular coal. I need to put my signs up. I'm already starting to get lost in here. That's really sad. Old age. Old age. Alright, so let me try to take that out. We'll try putting the coal in. There we go. So the coal coke will not work. Just a heads up. So we'll go ahead and drop that. And I think I'm about ready for 2 more of those. Steelmaker. Achievement earned. Boom. So every time it processes, we got 9, 18. I'm just going to take it out each time. I'm going to show you. So we got 9 full. There's a 50% chance that I will actually get more yield. So 9. It's 27. Just getting really crap here. Come on. 9. Really? I'm just going to hit the bad side of luck. Well, while it's doing its thing. Yeah, we're almost there. There we go. Okay, well. Now, HSLA steel is not compatible with smeltery, I don't believe. So you can't, I don't think you could toss this in here. You know, I guess you can. Will it cook? It will not cook. Okay. So, if you're thinking, I'm going to make HSLA steel so that way I can actually make molten steel, no, that won't work. You will need to actually still make the HSLA steel. There we go. First full stack. Cool. Okay. So, the first thing we need to do is make our first producer. Or consumer, I should say. And we're going to actually make a pump. And to make the pump, it's been a while since I've done this. I think it's under processing. I kind of want to have this because it actually has... Here it is, the pump. So to make the pump, we'll need 2 HSLA steel. We'll need 2 liquid pipes, an impaler, 2 base panels, actually 3 liquid pipes. Now if we hit this arrow, it'll tell us what kind of power we're going to need. We're going to need a 1024 watts, 1024 watts worth of power, 4 Newton meters worth of torque. Power is from inputs from the front or the back. So, to make these parts, we're going to need to grab some glass. I'm just going to go ahead and bank the coal for the moment. Oh, we need to make our table still. Oh, yeah. Can't go any further without our table. Why didn't that take? Man, okay, I suck as a tutorialist. My tutorial abilities have died. Production, workbench, bricks, HSLA, 2 stone slabs, redstone. Brakes. Oh, no crap. So the reason this didn't work is because I made stone bricks instead of stone. I thought I grabbed my stone. Crap. Okay, well. That sucks. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. And, whoops. Really? There we go, work table. Almost skipped that important step. I'm going to actually keep that back here. There. So, it said we need to make the pipes. To do that, we'll start here. 1, 2. And you notice if I just did that, I got my steel wire. That's actually for Rotarycraft, I believe. There we go. So we got our fluid pipes. I'm going to take those and pop those right there. Now we need 2 HSLA steel. It goes there. Now we need to make our other components, our base panels. To do that, we'll do that. We get 3 base panels per 1 shot. Put those here. We also needed to make, look at our book. You can look at your book, or NEI also has it. So we need to make our impaler still. And the only thing with the book is you can't see subcombines. So that's where having NEI comes in real handy. As you can just narrow it down. Sometimes it can be hard to find the pump though. But we do know what we need. We need an impaler. And to make the impaler, we'll need 4 HSLA ingots and a steel gear. And to make that, that's 5 HSLA ingots. So we'll go like that, like so. Let's go ahead and double it up. Boom. And then we do that, and there's our impaler. This is going to make our first consumer. Oops, wrong spot. There we go. Interesting. Did I flip something around? Or am I missing a point? Thought I had all my parts. Well, I said it's been a while. I've been playing with all the other mods and stuff, and I don't know, I just haven't found the fun that I have with this mod. Well, let's do the book. Production pump. Oh, I need a glass pane. It's simple things in life that always win. Okay, let's drop our glass pane on top. And I think about it, I was just sitting there thinking about it, this thing has glass on top of it. There we go. Cool. Now we'll head out to our water supply, which like I said, I did cheat it in. And I feel bad for it, but yeah, it's just pipes. I'm not worried about pipes. So here we are. Then when we place this, we'll take a couple of cobblestones like so and put it here. And the reason I'm going to do this, and we can actually turn it, but right now we don't have the part. Those green boxes you just saw show where you can actually connect for your power. So I can put a power on this side, or I can put a power on this side. Now you notice I made 2 slots. We're not going to use the second slot right now, mainly because we don't have the machinery for it. But what we're going to do is connect our power here, and we'll have a shaft connecting to this. Eventually, we'll have our power here, right here, a bigger power system, and we'll have a split right here, which will connect to this machine, and then this one here, and that'll just double the amount of water we collect. And I just saw something that needs to be fixed. I don't like holes. There we go. Okay, so we have our pump hooked up. We need to get some power for that. Now, here's where this gets a little interesting. When we look at power, there's the engines. We have all these different ones. And I first did the same thing. I saw this. I'm like, DC electric engine sucks. And wind turbine, wow, that's pretty cool. But, You gotta do something. Doesn't generate much torque, but it looked interesting. But you got all these parts to build. The steam engine's pretty awesome. I thought, okay, I'll do the steam engine. Problem is, it requires water, and you're no way of getting the pump started. The only way you can do it is basically either get another pump running or cheat. So I decided not to do that. Well, let's go back to that DC electric motor and take a look at it. It's this little simple guy. Look at that, 4 Newton meters of torque, 256 rads, and power, 1024 kilowatts. Now, if you remember, if we go back to our pump, it requires 4 Newton meters of torque and 1024 watts of power. Huh. So if I build this little guy, which is cheap enough, 2 base panels, 2 redstone, a shaft unit, and 4 HSLA steel, I can get the power needs, and then later upgrade the engine. So let's do that. To get started, we'll draw base panels out. We also need to make a shaft unit, which goes like this actually. There we go. And that's pretty much all we needed for this. So take our HSLA, draw it like that. Take our shaft unit, put it there. Base panels go here. And then 2 redstone. Boom. Now, this motor does require a redstone current to start it, to get it running. But it only needs a solid current, so you don't need to pulse this motor to keep it running. So we'll make a redstone torch. Go back outside. Oops, gosh dog it. That's the second time I've done that today. And we'll come over here. We're already running a bit late, so today will be about getting the pump up, and we'll probably go ahead and get to the fermenter. We'll just run a bit long. We'll be our first time. Okay, so if I place this here, there we go. The red box indicates the output of this motor. So any energy is going to go this way. Remember, the green box was pointing to, let's see, what is that? South and north. So we'll hook up a redstone torch, and there she goes. But hey, let's turn our sound down, because I know if it's loud on my ears, it's going to be loud in your ears. But here's something. Why isn't... How do we get power from here to here? We need to make a shaft. A core, shaft. Shaft. Now, there's different ways we can do that. We could use wood, which would be great in the beginning, but like I always do, I don't just immediately hop in on Rotarycraft. I build up quite a bit first. You see, I'm already full on steel, and I'm not even done yet. So, I like to build up, and because of that, I can actually afford to skip a few steps. So what we'll do is make some... Oops. There we go. I think this is how it's made. No, it's not. Okay, it's been a long while since I made these. There we go. Mounts. So we'll go like that. 32. That, and then 32. So we'll make 32 shaft mounts. We're also going to need to make rods. There we go. Now you see I just blew through all my steel in one shot, which is fine. Now to make this, combine these two, we'll come over here. And there we go. And you see we get quite a bit. Even though it shows nothing there, if you keep right-clicking, you will go ahead and collect it. We'll save the rest for now. So now we have steel shafts. Now steel shafts will support much more power than your traditional ones. We'll head back over here. And now we connect our power up. Now look, red and a green. It's also going to be red always facing you. So when you place this, we'll put it there. Oh, We want the output. So we want to go this way. There we go. Oh, shoot. I had shaft selected. There we go. There we go. Now the shaft, you can see the shaft actually turning. We can see the pump is actually turning. And we can see the water is actually flowing into the pipes. There we go. Cool. Awesome. So now we are getting water into the system. And so eventually we'll have 2 of these going. And that's going to double the water production. Now it may take a bit for that water to actually reach back here. Because it has to actually fill each one of the pipes up. There it is. See, it's now finally coming in. Each one of the pipes actually has internal storage. So you need to remember that when you're doing this. 120,000, we need to put more Coca-Cola in. Unfortunately, I blew all my materials in making this, so I'm going to have to give it a minute here for the steel to catch up. All right. Oh, we're not done. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and do it. Swap it out. Okay, and there we go. Okay, head back. So the next machine we need to build is the fermenter. Now, in the beginning of this, actually episode 4, I talked about, no, episode 5, when I restarted. I was talking about how we need all the leaf blocks and stuff. This is the reason why we need leaf blocks. So we go to production, and no, not production, processing. Okay, grinder, extractor, compactor, purifier, enhancer, magnetizing unit, generator, distillery, smeltery, fluid moisturizer, composer, centrifuge. No, it's not farming, is it? Seems they moved it. It used to be under production. Oh, there it is, fermenter. The fermenter is going to create fuel crystals, which will let us build our next engine up, which is the gas engine. This is a very expensive process because it's 2 steps. First step, we have to make the yeast, which is going to be sugar in the top, dirt in the bottom, and then that'll make we'll get the sludge, or get us to the sludge spots. So the sludge, to make the sludge, we take the yeast that we make, put that in the top slot, and then we have to put plant matter in the bottom. This is what threw me off. Plant matter is, I believe, either leaf blocks or grass. I know leaf blocks for sure, but I'm not sure on grass. We'll try both. And you also need water supplied to this, hence why we're dumping all our water into the system, into this tank. And it's a slow process, but we're going to need all that water. So to get started, we're going to need, look here, this is different. HSLA, we can do it with 10, a few other ones. 4 base panels, impaler, and then some alternates. So to make our impaler, we know how to do that. We've already done one. We'll take that with our steel. We'll use this up first. Oops. Boom. Okay, there's our impaler. We also need 4 base panels, which we don't have any base panels anymore. 1, 2, 3. So there we go. 1, 2, no. 3, 4. Impaler. And for argument's sakes, we will use just our... Oh yeah, by the way, if you accidentally try to do your assembly on a crafting station, there you go. Nothing actually occurs. It gets confusing. And I should mention that on AE friendliness, you can achieve, there we go, there's our fermenter. We can achieve AE friendliness with the smelter or the blast furnace back here. I should get more of that iron. Let's see here, ingots. Ingots, there we go. And I'll do 3 more. I can do you can hook up the pipes. The front is the eject, but you can hook in the side. On the sides, I think are for these objects: sand, the coal, the gunpowder, and oops, now I'm going to try to do two things at once. The top will be your inject for your injection point for the steel, and okay, that's it. And then the front is the eject. Problem is, when you do the steel, it's always going to fill this slot up. It doesn't know how to fill these slots up. I think you can do an ME interface on it and get around it, but I'm not 100% for sure on that. Okay, so I have a room set up back here for this. Our next stage, which was our fermentation. We'll go ahead and put the fermenter right here. Now, it's going to require power, speed, and torque. And we have these gauges to help us see that. Now, the water goes here in the middle, which we're going to supply from underneath the machine. Top slot's going to be for the sugar or the slud or the yeast. And the bottom slot will be for the dirt or the leaf blocks. Now, I've left the back open. You notice a little hole here, and that's for your gear. That's for your shaft here. And then a space for the motor, which we're going to need to cut that open because we're going to need lava for it. And I'll have to go ahead and spawn that in. And we'll need a spot for the water. This one I don't actually increase the power on. Okay, let's do this. Because we need some space for this one. There we go. So, oops. Yeah. That goes there. We'll put our motor here, and then that'll let me bring my pipe in behind it. Okay. So, put that like so. Boom. And it gives us a couple shots. Now, on that fermenter, how much power do we actually need? You didn't talk about that, man. We'll go back here. We'll just do that, and it's going to tell us that we require 1024 watts of power, 32 rads of speed. Now, if we go back to our motor and take a look at the DC, it provides 256 rads at 1024 watts and 4 newton meters of torque. So in actuality, we didn't even need to do all this. I feel really bad now. I never even looked at that. I always just naturally built the steam engine. So we put that back here, and then we'll have our shaft and such there. Okay. We'll just build another DC motor. I was going to go straight to the steam engine. Let me show you that. Engines. Because if you look, it goes DC, wind, steam. So the steam engine produces 32 newton meters of torque, 512 rad speed, 16.384 kilowatts of power. And the next step up is a gasoline engine, which is 128 newton meters of torque, 512 rads, and 65.536 kilowatts of power, and requires ethanol. Doesn't have water or anything like that. So that motor is actually important for the next step. But if you really wanted to, you can do 2 steam engines and then combine the power. We'll get to that combining power, but not just that quick. Okay, we need to build a tool. Actually, first let's build our motor. So 2 base panels, 2 redstone, shaft, and there we go. And we'll go put the motor in. Go all the way down to my new room for this. There we go. I'll put it there. Okay, perfect. And we'll put that there. Oops, I screwed up. Now I could break this and keep dancing around the room and getting it right. We can also build a tool. We need to build our tools now. We should have built our tools after we built our workbench. Our first tool is the wrench, or the screwdriver, sorry, right here. And it's actually very simple. You can do HSLA or even just iron. You need a stick, a piece of wood. There you go, a piece of wood. stick, and of course you can do HSLA or iron. I usually go ahead and use the HSLA. It's only one that kind of signifies that I am now officially starting. So there's our screwdriver. The other machine we need is this guy right here. It's called the angular transducer. You'll need 3 HSLA steel ingots. You'll need 3 pieces of wood plank and a redstone. We'll get 3 more pieces of wood. Now I'm going to explain what that device does here in just a moment. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And think, there we go. And then finally, boom. Okay, so let's go back and take a look. So if we come back here, our screwdriver will let us, obviously, is going to let us turn our parts. The angular transducer will tell us steel shaft transmitting 0 watts at 0 rads. And you can also, when you do this, you'll see the red box, the green box, which tells us which way is pointing. Using our screwdriver, we'll do that again, but it also rotates it. We want the red always facing the machine we're going to use, and the green always facing the input. And if we do this, we'll see the red points to here, so green is the input. The green is the input, which comes from output. So red to green, and then red to green, which we can't see on this. Now, we also need a redstone torch, which I forgot to make. You can also use a lever, but I'm going to use a redstone torch, and I need to make a lever at the same time. So I put that in there. There we go. And there's our lever. And redstone torch. Do make sure you leave a gap. This is important. I'm going to get my dirt. That way I don't have to, at least I'm not that pathetic. Hey, dirt. And I'll just spawn the sugar in for now. Come back here. Oh, so actually I did rotate my machine around. There we go. There we go. Got that back in the right place. Take our torch and we'll put it right here. Make sure you have a gap between the torch and this machine, because this machine has 2 modes and is controlled by redstone. So we'll put the lever on top. There we go. Now, we need water. I still have 13 pipes, but obviously that's not going to reach. So I need to make some more pipes real quick. And we are running really behind. I do apologize for that. This actually was the goal to get to this point tonight, or today. Should be there. That should be enough fluid pipes. Okay. Come back over here. And we'll go ahead and drill out our piping here. I actually already made a hole that connects into this. I just need to get the 3. There we go. Okay. See how much I've already generated of that water. Then we need to go around that. I don't even know why I'm doing it like this. There we go. There we go. Okay. And we should be okay on this side. Yes. Okay. I saw some coal and copper, which I'm definitely going to collect. Alright. Okay. Cool. So we'll go ahead and run our pipe. Finicky little thing today, aren't you? Well, I don't like how that connected. And that's why I didn't want to like that. Is that Creo seed? Okay, that is Creo seed. Okay. There we go. I'll just put that in there like so, and then we get that coal. Copper. Alright. Nice little deposit, aren't you? Hope I got enough to backfill this. Yeah, I'm good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Oops. Alright. There we go. Here you go. Wait, yeah, we're good. Let's head over here just real quick and see if the water's transmitted in. It's not. Why is that not receiving water? You can see it doesn't take much to break the pipes. It did receive. Yeah, it connects. It should. Interesting. Okay, interesting. So this machine should be receiving. Pipes are connected, true and good. So this fermenter should be receiving its water, but it's not. You know what? I'm gonna, for the giggles of it, I'm gonna take and run that pipe like so, and see if that helps it. Okay, this could be a bug. This could actually be a bug in the whatchamacallit. And I don't have any in my pipes. I used it all. Let's do this. Just for testing purposes, we'll use thermodynamic pipes. Just to test it. You shouldn't, but since I'm cross-modding, it might be such a thing that I need to just... I'll need servo as well, just for testing. This will help me understand, because I've never actually used... There we go. I've never actually used the Railcraft for storing my liquids up. So it could be quite a possibility that we can see the liquid is transferring out now. So it could have been a possibility that cross-modding wasn't going to work. Oops. Alright, so not showing the animation of the water reaching the pipe, but let's take a look and see if it is transmitting it in. Yes, okay, good. Cool. So, let me just fill in my holes here. Fix my piping. Never leave a base dirty. I don't like my pipes exposed. When I can avoid it, I don't like to have anything exposed, except for the machines. Just looks pretty. Oh, I'm out of... Huh? How did I run out of marble? I'll get what I got left. There we go. And then over here we need to put the cobble back in. And then our stone bricks. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we've got our water supplied. And we're going to need to get... Throw this back in. We don't need that. I'll throw those back in. Don't need that. We need to get sugar, which is, if you don't know by now, is made with 3 sugar canes drawn left to right, I believe. Yeah. There it is, sugar. We also need dirt, which I have. So we put our dirt in the bottom. We put our sugar in the top, and you'll see it's now processing. You'll also see our bars are all maxed out. Torque, speed, power, we're good. Over here we have our temperature gauge, which is showing good. The lower this temperature gauge is, the longer this will take. There we go. And now we're making yeast. Cool. Alright, so we're not going to let it run all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step. Now, you notice it didn't, when it made the yeast, it didn't take the dirt. And it's kind of not, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. And sadly, it's not the same way when you do the next step. So, yeast. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. You'll actually get more yeast than you will in consumption of dirt. There you go. And there we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take these out. And if we take to make our yeast, once we get all our yeast, and I'm skipping this because obviously we're running at 1 hour now, and I want to stop this video because it has to be uploaded and processed. So, this is where I got confused. First off, you look, it says right now the target is yeast. If I throw that switch and look again, now it's going to show the target as being sludge. Now we put our yeast in the top slot here, and we need plant matter, and this is what confused me, was plant matter. Now I'm going to check. We're going to try grass, and if grass works, then you use your shears and just cut the grass using shears. If it doesn't work, then I know leaf blocks. There you go, so it does work. Now, you'll see it's going pretty much at a steady pace, but look at the grass. It's actually going quicker than the yeast. So, you're going to need a lot. So, remember in the last episode I was talking about how many of those leaf blocks I actually needed? Well, this is the reason we need all these. It's because this thing just, it's horrific on how much grass or plant matter you consume during this process. And you can see you get quite a bit of sludge. We're already at 50 sludge here. Almost 60 now, and we've used up 32 of the grass. There we go. And 48 of the yeast. So it's basically the ratio is for every 16 yeast, you will consume 32 grass. So for a full stack, you need 2 full stacks of grass or leaf clippings. Now we get that sludge. If we take that back to our furnace, and I'm going to show you in the upcoming episode how to make furnaces go faster and save on using fuels. For now, though, if we take that and drop it in, it's going to start smelting out. And we will be rewarded with ethanol crystals, which we can burn in the gas engine, which we'll be working in the next episode when we begin processing canola. And you can see over here in the canola, I've got 27 stacks plus 56. It is a very good idea from the very beginning to begin making canola, raising canola up. Those 3 blocks still are annoying the hell out of me. But start growing your ethanol or your canola. You're going to need a lot of it. And I mean, I'm not even joking. You will need a lot of it. How are we doing here, water? Wow, look at that. That thing's almost full, and that's just one. So, whoops. Did I just dump my water in? Yes, I did. So that's it for this episode. This episode, we made the pump. We made the DC motor, our blast furnace, our work table, our tools. Oh yeah, I never showed you this tool in operation. So now, while everything's in operation, if I right-click, we're going to see the steel shaft is transporting 1,024 kilowatts of power at 256 rads. There is a mathematical formula to find out how much Newton meters you're producing. And to do that, you're going to take your kilowatts, which is 1024, your wattage, 1024, and divide it by your radians, which is 256. This is easy. So 1024 divided by 256 is 4, because it takes 4 to get to 1024. So 4 newton meters of torque. Now, in the next episode, we will actually create something else that's going to help us cheat a bit and see how much we're actually producing without going through all that hassle of the mathematics. So, I got quite a bit done today. It did run a little longer. I was not quite prepared like I should have been, and I thought I was. That's my fault. I'm old. Get over it. Next episode will be in a couple of days, and we'll be working on... Let me get the book out here. We'll show you what we're going to get. So tomorrow, or next episode, we're going to get the gas engine built. And then we're going to... let's see, here's the gas engine I wanted. So the gas engine's producing 128 newton meters torque. We needed... and 512 rads. I want to make sure I get this right. I don't want any more misspeaks. 1024, 4 newton meters of torque. That is so overkill. Oh, that is way overkill. Oh my god, I could power like 15 engines at that speed. 32 newton meters of torque. I'm going to end up with a lot of excess torque. Okay. You know what? I might just do the second motor thing and just put the second pump up. So I'll have that done. I'll be doing a DC motor. I was going to do the chaining of the motors, and I'm a little worried about the speed of the pump. If I get newton meters too high, I'm worried that it'll drain the water source off. So next episode, we're actually going to be working on getting the next engine, which is the gas engine. That's going to lead us to right here. No. Production processing. I think it's in processing. Yeah, I just saw it there. The magnetizing unit. This is a little tougher to get running because you see here, we need 2048 rads of speed, 16,384 watts of power, which, if I look at the engine, is more than what this engine produces. Actually, it produces more than enough power. The problem is the rads. And in order to get that, we're going to need to... oh, no. We're not making the magnetizing. Well, we'll make the magnetizing unit. Actually, our next step will be the crusher, which is that's in processing. The grinder. This is not a macerator. All it will do is take cobble, turn it into gravel, gravel to sand type thing. But what its most important role is making the lubricant from canola seeds, the canola oil. And this machine requires 4096 watts of power and 128 newton meters worth of torque, which is more than enough for our engine back here, the gas engine, which is producing, well, it's actually equal to 128 newton meters of torque. We can speed it up, but that's going to be after we start producing enough lubricant. I also have a new tank built to store our lubricant, because we're going to need that lubricant to go into a central holding tank. Again, that's next episode. And until then, this is Simple Majority signing off. Have a great day.